Since I was a kid, I was always amazed by those who can make the impossible possible. And in the modern day, that may be magic. Allow me to show you something amazing though, with just simply a napkin, if I may. And the spectator may examine said napkin to their heart's content. Ooh. And for today's audience, since this is a studio performance, imagine that there is a spectator on my left named Marsha and a spectator on my right named Drake. So we got the wonderful and beautiful Marsha on my left and the wonderful and handsome gentleman Drake on my right. Cool. So Marsha, I would like to begin with you. I would like for you to think of a number from 1 to 5, okay? And in this particular case, you can jump from 1 to 5 or any which way, jump from number to number, essentially, and eventually just stop upon any particular number, okay? So you have a free choice, and you may even change your mind, okay? But in this particular case, you have settled upon a number in particular. Yes? You got one? Okay. Great. And you can actually name the number out loud. What was the name? What was the number? And they go, in this case, 4. And I go, that is correct. Okay, that was a little bit of a lame trick. I should do something better, right? Okay, let's try this. Let's try this. I'm going to actually tear the napkin, in this case, in half. Here's what we'll try. And in this case, Marsha, you may take half. And Drake, you can join me as well. We'll have you take half, whichever one. Here you go. And what we're going to do is we're going to do something therapeutic. And we're going to tear the napkin as we go across. Why do we tear this napkin? Because it's therapeutic, dang it. Tear away that childhood trauma. And they're tearing their napkin every which way, and also over here. But we also make it organized chaos, as I like to say, as we keep it all within here. And if we do it correctly, collect all the pieces, sometimes it can look like a beautiful rose. I don't know in this particular case, but it's some beauty amongst the chaos. And we're also going to use one more thing as well. We're going to actually use some magical pixie dust. Like Peter Pan, like we're 6 years old again. And Drake, you handed me all the pieces, and so did you, Marsha? Really? Okay. Because sometimes, if you do it correctly, sometimes something amazing can happen. Ooh la la. And I thank you so much. And as soon as I finish my performance, someone would naturally check it out. And they go, oh my god, what? They're like examining for some kind of tape or something. That's amazing. And I thank you. So, continue along. There is one other thing I just wanted to mention, or just along with certain things I wanted to mention to you in particular, Drake. It was that I was just casually observing it, and I happened to notice that you happen to have like a coin on your shoulder. Not sure if this happens to you a lot. Don't worry, I'll get rid of it. It's gone. Don't worry about it. And Marsha, you too, you have it on your elbow this time, but you have this particular coin. And again, don't worry, I'll toss it up and get rid of it. But yours in particular, Drake, it just keeps on coming back. It's like your clothing. What is it made of in particular? Like cashmere? Is your clothes made of cashmere? Odd. And we can just get it and toss it on up. And it'll just keep on appearing every which way. Like, even if I hand it to you, Marsha, it just happens to come over here. No, seriously, hold on to it, and it just keeps on coming back. Weird. Even if I hand it to Drake, and it just seemingly goes. Wild, huh? And there's not much we can seemingly do about it. It just keeps on coming, going as it pleases, which is wild. And in another case, you could actually toss on up. Okay? And I could actually slowly give it a little magical wave, and believe it or not, the coin will come back. It is just crazy, isn't it? And even if I put the coin away in my pocket, it'll come back over here. Seriously, if I put it away, it'll just keep on coming back. And this is not odd times, but these are like crazy times where everything just turns every which way. And some might call this inflation. I thank you so much. And they're all examining this like, wait, what? This is giant walking liberty? That's so cool. And moving along, I actually also wanted to show you something in particular. Oh, let me put it this way. Some card trick. Where did I put my cards? Oh, they're right over here. I wanted to show you something amazing in particular. Special little card trick. Though before I begin, I always like to start out in a very, very fair manner. I like to have the cards shuffled by the spectator, and also examined as well, so there's no trap doors or Spanish-speaking chihuahuas, nothing of that nature. Absolute fairness with the cards, or mostly not the same card over and over again. Absolute fairness, okay? The cards are shuffled, the cards are cut by the spectator, maybe per se. And I should mention from the outset, I want to be hands-off on this effect. So the spectator is going to be doing the future actions, which is really cool. So the spectator, not me, would divide into, say, 3 even piles. So I would say about there, about there. Let's say it's not even, just trying to mimic it perfectly, whichever. And there we go. So we got that. And the spectator can point to any pile they want. So let's say they don't go for the obvious one, middle. Let's say they go for the side. And you can see all the different cards, okay? Now I'm going to be looking away. I want to make sure you guys can see that I'm looking away for this. You can see all the different cards. Ooh, the colors. And they may take any card in particular they want, and they can put it towards their heart. So let's say they've gone through, maybe this one, maybe this one. Oh, they stop upon, say this one. Okay, so this card is noted, hopefully seen by the audience. Yes, okay. And placed down. And the card set back. So again, I'm going to show it again. You always want to show it twice. There you look. Again, I'm looking away. And then it is set on top of any pile they want. So let's say they put on top of here, and we can set these cards on top of there. They would be doing this, and then let's just say this pile on top of that. Okay, and then they can cut the pile as fairly as they wish. So they can cut it maybe say here, and we cut and complete, and then they can cut and complete the cards again wherever they wish, and they cut and complete. Fair, fair. Okay, and amongst that buried mess, here's the fun part, because toward the end of this effect, people say I have like some kind of almost psychic vibration almost, or it's just like crazy, because I almost never miss, which is really wild. I have a really amazing accuracy rate with this. So here's what we do. Here's how it's going to go down. I'll have you, the spectator Drake, start dealing the cards, okay? And everyone saw the card, yeah? They saw it, okay, great. And we're just going to know when the card comes up, okay? So they start dealing cards, like dealer style, as they go across, like this, yeah? Okay. And it may be a while before the card comes up, so they just keep on dealing. So there's a casualness to it. So they're dealing on me, and let's say as we're going across, oops, that, we're just going across. And it may be a while, and hopefully you can see all the cards that go across. And they're going across, and you see different ones as you go along. Okay. Up, 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 up. Here we go. Here we go. I'm starting to feel it. I'm starting to feel it. Starting to get something. Okay. Now, there was like still a bunch of cards we haven't gone through, but I'm starting to feel it. And you could even, for fairness sake, you could see all the other cards. Yeah. All the other ones as we go across that could have been chosen. Yeah. Good. But I'm starting to feel something. I'm starting to feel a little vibration here. Here's the thing. The next card I flip over is going to be your card. Believe it or not, the next card I flip over is going to be your card. You can hold me to that. And then they go, no way, no way. Want to make a bet? And then everyone's wanting to throw down money and everything. But before they do that, I would say, you don't need to bet or anything. Because the moral of the story is, you don't want to bet with the magician. Because we'll win every single time. And I thank you. And everyone's like, yeah, kind of cool. Pretty amazing. Now, while we're along this amazement journey, care to see another? Let's keep going. Okay, let's gather all these cards on up. And normally at this point, I would be doing I think I saw something. Okay, let me check. I'd be doing normally a style effect. That's usually the most wonderful thing, being able to do that. But then sometimes you run across crazy situations. And we always have to be adaptable to these types of situations. And hold on, there's an ace of spades on top. I'm going to lower this down into here so we can be extra fair with this. Yeah, even more lower, right here, before we continue, okay? Because I don't want people to think, oh, the aces are on top already, okay? I want to be fair as I can be. Yeah, okay. Now here's what we do. I would normally be doing some kind of crazy effect to cut to the aces, but then one time, or you can imagine one time, cards take it from me. And they were by a gentleman who may have been drinking for a bit. And so, naturally, I had to just work out the situation. I love being adapted to these situations. I'm going to show you a card trick. Okay, I'm going to show you and cut 4 aces. Maybe a magician, maybe not. I'm going to just trust me here. I'm just going to go across the cards. You just tell me when to stop whenever you like. And then you're just going, stop. Right there, no more, no less. All right. That'll be the first one. Okay, number two. Trust in the system. Mira, just tell them when to stop. And they say, stop. You got this, Drake. Yeah, stop there. Okay, right there. Number three. Marsha, this one's for you. Tell them to stop whenever. And she's going, stop. Right there. Okay, no more, no less. Okay, that's good. Okay, number 3 is right there. And number 4, just gonna shuffle them out. I don't even mix them, Mira. I'm just gonna mix them like this. You could probably tell my Hispanic heritage right there. Anyways, we get all those cards. Yeah, that's good. Okay, good. You did it. You totally did it. Yeah. Did what? Cut the 4 aces. Did you do well? And we're checking him out like that. No. You don't go off the bottoms. Mira, you go off the tops. And you get aces every time. Ain't that cool? Alright. So the audience is probably going wild at this point. And I want to do something else. I want to show you what it would take, the routine it would take to maybe make into Magic Castle, or so I've observed. Alright? And what we're going to do is we're going to also, again, have you examine the cards. Nothing is worse than having cards that just get tricked on you out of nowhere and just not being fair at all. That's not very good at all, is it? No. So we're going to give the cards a little rub, and you can examine those 4 aces. Yeah, okay, examine them. We're also going to need 4 other cards, the 6s and 9s. So, oh, there's 1 9. 6s and 9s as well. And so they're examining them to their heart's content. Sweet. And there we go. Got those. Won't even need the other cards as well. So, got 6s and 9s, and then we have the aces. Now, magicians say that ace tricks are like a dime a dozen. So, in this particular case, I want to make it extra special. Usually the ace of spades is the leader ace, but Marsha, you may choose any of the 4 aces for this particular effect for it to be the leader. And it could be diamonds, clubs, hearts, spades, and let's say they go for hearts in this particular case, okay? So we're going to do this, and just 8 cards. 6 and 9s and the aces. Okay, hopefully everyone can see it. Yeah, ace of spades being the first ace right there. Okay, then there is the ace of diamonds, ace of clubs, and then finally the ace of hearts. Hopefully it was kept in view. I wasn't sure if it went at angle view. Okay, so we got the aces and then the 6s and 9s right there. So we'll get the leader ace, the ace of hearts, and we'll place it right there. And then the other aces we'll place right alongside it, like there. Okay? And these 6s and 9s will just be mostly distracted cards in this particular case. I know I'm trying to keep it in frame, breaking that fourth wall, but hopefully you can see it. Yeah, so we got the 6s and 9s. You can hopefully see, yes. Okay, and we're going to place one right there. I'm going to try going slow motion so everyone can see it. Okay, I'm going to push it slowly in the first ace. Slowly, and you can actually see it up to the last second, hopefully. Yes. Okay, slowly push it inside, and I just give it a little shake like that, and believe it or not, the first ace has gone across like that. Pretty amazing. And then we'll try it again. Again, I want to be able to be fair where I can, so you can see everything. And we're going to try it with, again, with the second ace in particular. Okay, just scoop it on up, push it on inside like so, and I just give it a little shake, just like that. And believe it or not, that's the second one to go across like that. And the spectator in this case can turn it on over, yes, and they turn it on over, and they can see that the second one has gone across. Wonderful. Now we're going to try this again. Okay. And the spectator can put their finger, in this particular case, on top of the last one. They do so. Okay. Last ace, jump across. Watch very, very carefully. Push it all the way in, just like so. And watch very carefully, as you can see, the last ace going across, just like that. Pretty amazing, right? Super cool. Now, normally this would be a very, very powerful routine that can be used for Magic Castle, and I've seen many members get inside or become a member through this routine. This is called the Wonderful Jazz Aces. Though I want to show you what made the routine that made my reputation at Magic Castle. It's a very, very special one, and one I would love to show you today. It begins with a couple little dice and a wonderful little cup. As always, I let everyone examine everything. They can examine the cup, they can examine the dice, and we're using acrylic dice today, which is to say you can see right through them. It makes them extra wonderful. So, before we begin, we're going to do a little warm-up. What I love to do is I get the dice, and you can actually hopefully hear them, okay? I get the leader dice, and you can actually get the leader to have the other ones to follow. And I remember that I actually used to do this trick in particular with just 2 dice, though I eventually found that all 3 dice worked it out better. Wonderful. So, everyone examine the cup. We're all good there? Yeah? Okay. And we're going to line these dice up one at a time. Okay. We're going to start with this first one right here. Yeah. And we're going to actually try to have it go across from hand, through cup, and appear right on through. Very, very cool. We'll try this again. The second one. This one's actually my personal favorite one. Why? Because you could do this. You could get it and push it right through your hand. That is so cool. In the same way, I can actually get the dice and I can actually push it on through. And believe it or not, get 2. Ooh yeah. The final one, I actually have a spectator put their finger right on top. Make sure I cannot get at it. So they have their finger right on top. Everyone's wondering the last one. Everyone's wondering how the last one's going to get right on through. Alright, you get it? Give it a toss. It goes everywhere. Whoa! And then the spectator can lift up and check that yes, it is indeed all 3. It's so cool. Now, I actually want to show you eventually how this works, or maybe a little bit of it, because I want to be always a little bit fair with the audiences I like to work with. It's just a little bit of a thing how I love to do it, and just being fair with everyone here, you know. In this particular case, I can get it, I could put it away, it'll actually appear right there. And so it just, I really ultimately just want to be fair with everyone, okay? So here's how this trick can work. Sometimes I only pretend to put the dice away, and then sneak it, lo and behold, underneath to get all three. Now, you're like, oh, okay, interesting. Here's the fun part, though, of this whole thing, okay? If I get one of the dice, okay, and no trapdoors or Spanish-speaking chihuahuas, if I really take it, all right, and I really put inside my pocket, how many should be underneath the cup, would you say? And the audience would say, two. How many do you naturally think, really? And they go, yeah, probably 3. Yeah, probably 3. There you go. We're going for that answer, so we're going for that. But if we're to do something else, and we're not trying to do anything magical like toss up and then make them appear over here, though that was cool. But if we really take all 3 dice, hopefully the audience can see these, yes, hands empty. If I really take all 3 and I put them underneath the cup, or if I was to put them away, how many do you think are underneath the cup? I am dyslexic today. If I put all 3 in my pocket, how many should be underneath the cup? And the audience would answer, none. But how many do you really think? And they go, obviously all 3. Really, all 3? Yeah, totally all 3. Yeah, it happens. And they're examining this and they're like, wait, what? A giant dice? No way, what? And I'd say you don't want to miss that one, because you'll probably miss this one as well. And honestly, they don't even fit. Like they don't even, you're like, wait, what? They don't even fit inside here. It's like crazy. But anyways, my name is Dan, and I hope you have a wonderful one. And that is this full Zero to Hero Magic System show. Hope you have a good one.